Welcome to our channel. Are you ready to step back in time and discover some incredibly hilarious and mind-boggling facts about history? Well, you're in for a treat. In this video, we present to you 100 funny and unbelievable facts about historical events, famous figures, and surprising incidents from the past. Unbelievable. 100 funny facts about history you won't believe. 1. King Louis XIV of France had a throne with a hidden chamber pot, so he wouldn't have to leave during long meetings. 2. Benjamin Franklin once wrote an essay titled, "Fart Proudly," advocating for the use of flatulence as a fuel source. 3. In the 1500s, it was common for people to wear live birds as fashion accessories, with tiny harnesses and leashes. 4. Ancient Egyptians used to shave their eyebrows to mourn the death of their cats. 5. The first recorded use of the word OMG was in a letter to Winston Churchill in 1917. 6. In 1908, a German circus tried to use a lion as a goalie in a soccer match against a human team. 7. The famous physicist Isaac Newton had an intense fascination with alchemy and tried to turn metal into gold. 8. Ancient Romans used to use gladiator sweat as a form of aphrodisiac. 9. The shortest reigning monarch was King Louis XIX of France, who ruled for just 20 minutes in 1830. 10. The world's oldest known joke dates back to 1900 BCE and is a Sumerian proverb about farting. 11. The first known use of toilet paper was in China in the 6th century. 12. The ancient Greeks had a game called blind man's bluff, which was similar to modern-day blindfolded tag. 13. Cleopatra reportedly had a makeup artist whose sole job was to apply cosmetics to her servants. 14. During the Middle Ages, people believed that sneezing could expel evil spirits from the body. 15. The famous philosopher Voltaire drank 50 cups of coffee a day. 16. The ancient Romans used urine as mouthwash due to its ammonia content. 17. In the 19th century, baseball games could be won by getting the ball stuck in a tree. 18. King Henry VIII of England had a jousting accident that knocked him unconscious for 2 hours, and he later banned jousting at court. 19. The first known use of the term computer bug was in 1947 when a moth caused a malfunction in a computer. 20. The world's first bank was established in Venice, Italy, in 1157. 21. The Great Fire of London in 1666 was so intense that it melted the lead on the roof of St. Paul's Cathedral. 22. The first known instance of computer programming was done by Ada Lovelace, an English mathematician, in the mid-1800s. 23. During the American Civil War, Confederate soldiers used urine to make gunpowder due to a shortage of saltpeter. 24. The world's oldest known recipe, dating back to 1700 BCE, is a beer recipe from ancient Mesopotamia. 25. The inventor of the stethoscope, René Laennec, came up with the idea after feeling uncomfortable placing his ear directly on a woman's chest. 26. The shortest war in history occurred between Britain and the Sultanate of Oman in 1810, lasting only a few hours. 27. The world's oldest functioning clock, the Salisbury Cathedral clock, was built in the 1380s. 28. The first recorded instance of a selfie was taken in 1839 by an amateur chemist named Robert Cornelius. 29. In 1979, a Vickers VC-10 airplane made the longest non-stop flight, covering a distance of 11,250 miles. 30. The first book ever printed using movable type was the Gutenberg Bible in 1455. 31. The first roller coaster was built in Russia in the 18th century, and it was designed as an ice slide. 32. The first person to survive going over Niagara Falls in a barrel was a 63-year-old schoolteacher. 33. The first known instance of a smiley face emoticon was used in a transcript of a speech by Abraham Lincoln. 34. The first email was sent in 1971 by Ray Tomlinson, who used the @ symbol to designate the host computer. 35. The longest-lasting light bulb in history has been burning since 1901 and is located in a fire station in Livermore, California. 36. The first recorded use of the middle finger as an offensive gesture dates back to ancient Greece. 37. The famous physicist Richard Feynman played a key role in solving the mystery of the 1986 Challenger space shuttle disaster. 38. The longest traffic jam in history occurred in China in 2010 and was about 60 miles long and lasted for 12 days. 39. The first known instance of a UFO sighting was by the ancient Egyptians in 1440 BCE. 40. During the gold rush in California, some entrepreneurs sold Eureka Air, captured from the mines in glass jars. 41. The first known use of the symbol hash, now called a hashtag, was in a 14th century poem. 42. The first known recipe for ketchup included anchovies, mushrooms, and walnuts. 43. The iconic "I love New York" slogan was designed on a napkin in a taxicab. 44. The first known use of the term serendipity was by Horace Walpole in a letter written in 1754. 45. The famous scientist Sir Isaac Newton was also an accomplished alchemist. 46. The longest river in the world, the Nile, flows in a northward direction. 47. The world's first color photograph was taken in 1861 by James Clerk Maxwell. 48. The first fax machine was invented in 1843. 49. The first recorded use of the F-word dates back to the 15th century. 50. The world's oldest known leather shoe is over 5,500 years old and was discovered in Armenia. 51. Ancient Egyptians used crocodile dung as a form of contraception. 52. The first known use of the word OMG was in a letter to Winston Churchill in 1917. 53. In 1908, a German circus tried to use a lion as a goalie in a soccer match against a human team. 54. The world's oldest known joke dates back to 1900 BCE and is a Sumerian proverb about farting. 55. Ancient Romans used to use gladiator sweat as a form of aphrodisiac. 56. The first known use of the word frenemy was in a play by William Shakespeare. 57. The world's oldest known customer complaint was written on a clay tablet in Mesopotamia around 1750 BCE. 58. Ancient Greeks believed that owls were a symbol of wisdom because they observed them burrowing their heads underground during the daytime. 59. The first recorded instance of a "yo mama" joke was found on a 3,500-year-old Babylonian tablet. 60. In 1974, the Canadian government issued an official apology to China for a shipment of diseased blankets sent during a smallpox outbreak. 61. The first recorded instance of a food fight occurred in ancient Rome at a banquet hosted by Julius Caesar. 62. In the 1700s, Russian Empress Catherine the Great had a secret room filled with erotic furniture. 63. The famous composer Mozart had a pet starling that could sing the theme of his Piano Concerto No. 17. 64. In the 1800s, some doctors used tobacco smoke enemas to resuscitate drowning victims. 65. The longest game of chess ever played had 269 moves and ended in a draw. 66. The ancient Romans used to paint their walls with a mixture of crushed snails to create the color purple. 67. In 1879, Thomas Edison invented the electric pen, which was the precursor to the modern tattoo machine. 68. In the 1920s, American physician Dr. John Romulus Brinkley claimed to cure impotence by transplanting goat testicles into men. 69. The first known use of the term jazz was in a baseball article in 1913. 70. The world's first traffic signal, installed in London in 1868, exploded less than a month after its installation, injuring its operator. 71. In 1859, the planet Neptune was accidentally discovered by astronomers while searching for a hypothetical planet predicted by mathematical calculations. 72. The first known use of the word dude was in the 1800s, referring to a dandy or city slicker. 73. In the 17th century, a tulip mania swept through the Netherlands, causing the price of tulip bulbs to skyrocket to absurd levels. 74. The famous physicist Albert Einstein had a habit of chewing on his violin bow when deep in thought. 75. In 1994, a man attempted to sell New Zealand on eBay, with the price reaching $3,000 before the auction was taken down. 76. The ancient Greeks had a belief that redheads would eventually turn into vampires after death. 77. The first known use of the word selfie was in a letter to a photographer in 2002. 78. In 1897, the Boston subway, known as the T, became the first subway system in the United States. 79. The shortest complete sentence in the English language is, go. 80. The famous painter Vincent van Gogh only sold one painting during his lifetime. 81. The first recorded use of the word boredom was in a novel by Charles Dickens in 1852. 82. In the 1800s, some people believed that taking a mummy powder, made from ground mummies, could cure various ailments. 83. The world's oldest known yo-yo is over 2,500 years old and was found in Greece. 84. In the 18th century, European nobility used to hire professional mourners to cry at their funerals. 85. The famous playwright William Shakespeare's epitaph warns against moving his bones, saying, "Cursed be he that moves my bones." 86. In the 1700s, some people believed that reading in dim light could cause hairy eyeballs. 87. The ancient Greeks had a game called kottabos, where they would fling the dregs of wine at targets. 88. In the 1800s, some people believed that eating tomatoes could cause lead poisoning due to the high acidity of the fruit. 89. The first known use of the word pizza was in a manuscript from 997 AD. 90. In the 1600s, tulip bulbs were used as a form of currency in the Netherlands during the tulip mania period. 91. The famous artist Salvador Dali designed the logo for Chupa Chups lollipops in 1969. 92. In 1919, a man tried to mail himself from London to Australia in a wooden crate but was caught by postal workers. 93. The ancient Greeks believed that the Milky Way was formed by milk splashed across the sky by the goddess Hera. 94. In 1820, a Maine farmer named Ephraim Wales Bull accidentally created the first seedless grape by crossing two different grape varieties. 95. The ancient Romans used to clean their teeth with urine due to its ammonia content. 96. In 1979, the British government issued guidelines on how to avoid being attacked by aggressive swans. 97. The famous composer Ludwig van Beethoven was deaf when he composed some of his most famous works. 98. In 1910, a man named Eugene Schieffelin released 60 European starlings into Central Park in New York City, starting a population explosion. 99. The ancient Greeks believed that sneezing was a sign of good luck from the gods. 100. The first recorded instance of a "yo mama" joke was found on a 3,500-year-old Babylonian tablet. These historical facts offer a humorous and quirky perspective on the past, showcasing the eccentricities, curiosities, and fun moments that have shaped our history.